Hello everyone. I hope you could complete the tasks and assignments for week 4 successfully. Also, I hope all of you are now more familiar and comfortable with the transition expressions given in lectures. However, since there are more strategies to develop your listening and note-taking strategies in lectures, we will continue to focus on such strategies in week 5. This is week 5's test lesson and assignments. First, read the short article about business fraud, which can be obtained on Manaba. Make sure to take notes even though the article is short and guess the topic of the lecture. Next, download the PDF worksheet that comes with this lesson called Lecture Language for Transition, Lesson Part 2 from Manaba and complete the exercises A through G. Make sure that you follow instructions to complete each exercise as you go through this PowerPoint presentation. Before you move on to the next slide, pause the video now and download the article and read it. Then, download the worksheet. If you are on this slide, it means that you have read the article and downloaded the worksheet, and now you're ready to complete the exercises. Okay, let's start with the exercise A. Look at the image on the slide and answer the 2 questions that are also on this slide. Number 1, what kinds of crimes do you think business executives are most tempted to commit? Give some examples. 2, how would you define business ethics? Explain to answer the 2 questions and move on to the next slide when you are done with exercise A. This is exercise B, reading comprehension. Here, these 3 questions are intended to simply check your understanding of the short article. Carefully read what the questions ask you to answer. Describe the answers by using your own words, not just copying and pasting the words from the article. Once your answers are complete, move on to the next slide. This is the exercise C, building your vocabulary. Match the words with your definitions. Here, just put the numbers in the corresponding boxes. Look back at the article to check your answers. As I stated in the previous lesson video, it is extremely important to look into definitions of words you don't know before a lecture starts, since these words might be used as keywords in the lecture later on. Moreover, with the knowledge of the words, your understanding of the content of the lecture will be facilitated better. If you have finished the exercise C, move on to the next slide. Before you move forward to the exercise D, please read the 3 discussion questions. I want all of you to participate in discussion on the forum on Manaba. Read the 3 questions carefully, and you will be required to answer each question on the forum. When you are ready to type your answers on the forum, press the comment button in order to provide the descriptions of the 3 questions. Make sure that each answer of yours is numbered clearly from number 1 through number 3, as the example on this slide displays. Besides, make sure to provide your answers with details. You may need to conduct research to answer some of the questions. You are required to comment at least 2 of your classmates' posts by clicking the reply button. Here are online discussion forum guidelines. Guideline number 1. You are expected to compose and post written questions, comments, and responses. Guideline number 2. Contributions need to be significant, appropriate, and helpful for developing and progressing the discussion. Please mind that the discussion activities on the forum will be evaluated and included in grading in this class. Now, let me provide you with 6 points for effective discussion. Pause the video now and write down these points in your note, or you can take a picture of the slide and review before you post the answers on the forum. Point number 1. Provide a concrete example, occasionally from your own experience. 2. Describe possible consequences or implications. 3. Challenge something that has been posted. You will not agree to everything what others say, so state your stance with some evidence or reasons to disagree. 4. Ask for clarification. If there is anything you do not understand, ask a question for clarification. 5. Provide an alternative perspective or interpretation. Many students tend to give same and very similar answers to a question. Try not to agree to go along with others. Discussion will be enriched with contribution of your different perspectives. 6. Introduce relevant information from other sources. Please use your critical thinking skills here. Try to use the researched information and show the relationship and the source of the information within the post. Here is a summary of what you need to do. 1. Provide answers to the 3 questions by commenting on the forum. 2. Respond to a minimum of 2 classmates' comments by replying. Use the previous slides for your guidance to complete the task. Once you have finished posting your answers to the 3 questions, resume the video to move forward. Remember to go back to the forum time to time to respond to your classmates' comments. Again, your contribution to discussion on the forum is evaluated and graded in this class. Listening strategy. Recognize lecture language for transitions. As the last week's lesson video explained, identifying transition expressions are important, and you have to pay attention to the signals of changing topics and or ideas from the professor during a lecture. At this point, I hope you have mastered the basic skills of learning transition signals through different exercises provided in week 4. Now, let's practice again the transition expressions you learned last week. I recommend you to start the exercise D after you review expressions you learned last week. Exercise D is to ask you to recognize transition lecture language again. Now look at your handout and read excerpt from a lecture about corporate responsibility. Find the lecture language that signals a transition and copy them in the space given in your handout. Pause the video now and complete exercise D before you move on to the next slide. Now you are on the exercise E, listening for transitions. First, download audio file named PSS1 5 exercise E audio. Then listen to an excerpt from a lecture on business ethics. While you listen to the lecture, write down the lecture language that signals a transition. Then listen again and write down the idea that follows the transition. I hope you will definitely identify 5 transitions or shifts of the main ideas while you listen to a short lecture. The first time you listen, focus on identifying the transition expressions. And the second time you listen, identify the new main ideas as you did last week. Now we're at the top of the page 4 of your worksheet. As I explained the importance of using abbreviations and symbols in taking notes, here are advantages and method of using abbreviations and symbols for your learning skills development. Let's practice again to take notes with abbreviations and symbols with these sample sentences. The exercise F on your worksheet provides 4 sentences. So take notes in the space below using symbols and abbreviations to represent words and ideas. Use the list from last week's lecture as reference. Now you're on the last exercise, exercise G. Watch the lecture and take notes on a separate sheet of paper. The link of the lecture video clip is available on Manaba. Remember to listen for the lecture language that signals the topic and lecture plan. As I instructed last week, try not to copy everything what the lecturer is saying. Your notes should be an informal outline showing the relationship between main ideas and supporting ideas. Once you have completed all the exercises, upload your worksheet file onto Manaba's assignments. The due for all the tasks and assignments are set Tuesday, 26th of May, 11 p.m. I hope you understood the importance of the lecture transitions and shifts of main ideas. Also, I hope you now enjoy taking notes with your own abbreviations and symbols. Last but not least, here is an announcement for real-time online lesson, which is scheduled next week. The live session will begin on Thursday, 28th of May, 10:45 a.m. through Microsoft Teams this time, not Zoom. Please sign in and check the information on Manaba and Microsoft Teams, and check the updates such as group lists and topics. I will keep you updated on Manaba and Microsoft Teams chat if any changes to be announced. So, see you next week.